going, guys? How you guys doing? How you guys doing? Hope you guys doing well. You guys doing well. Alright guys, in today's today's podcast rather, the topic will be why traditional artwork will always have a market. Now this is an interesting topic. As we get into the rise of more new technologies and we are seeing more and more AI take influence on our lives, we tend to forget where we came from. Now, to be honest with you, I don't necessarily have a problem with technology. To a certain extent, there's some things that, I feel like technology is interfering with, but for the most part, it's a good tool. But because this is an art podcast, we're going to talk about why traditional artwork will always have a market. When I was starting my art progress, really I don't want to say professional but getting almost there, I definitely wanted to get into that more digital aspect, and that was years ago. I was go far back as like 2018, 2017, around that time, when I had a cheap Windows laptop and I used basically like a tablet. It wasn't necessarily like a tablet, but it was like a little pad, and you had like this like pencil, like the stylus, and you just drew on that, and you connect it through USB. And that's how they started. That's how I kind of started with the digital aspect. But I knew I was always better with traditional. Now there's some flaws with traditional, especially when you're using markers, pencils, pens. It's easy for you to make a mistake. Now, we can make a good image, but the residue, the amount of work it takes, the traditional way, takes hours. You can say the same thing about digital art, but I say there's a lot more steps going in with traditional. And for me, it's always like finding the time, because you could definitely take those materials with you and go do what you were doing. Go do whatever you were planning on doing, but you're taking the notepad, pencils, paper, whatever, markers, and taking that all with you and planning your day around what artwork you were trying to complete. Rather than when you can just bring your tablet, your pencil, and you can just draw. It's less hassle. And for the most part, it is. But I do have the enjoyment of just having those tools. Maybe it may take more time, but the end result for me make me feel better, because I feel like, I can actually touch it. I can actually feel it. I can visibly touch and feel through the whole process of me creating that piece, instead of just me using the screen and this plastic nib to create the art. And it's very interesting to me. I find it very interesting how now that artificial intelligence has now integrated itself in the art space, people are leaning more into that concept. And for me, it is bringing less creativity while doing that. While you're, using AI to create art, is that really art? Because all the AI is doing is taking parts and pieces from off the internet and mod podging together into one piece. Is that truly yours? And the main one that most people use, which y'all already know what it is. I don't even have to say it. But if you're into art and you're familiar with AI art, you know what the application is. I don't have to say it. But however, it is unfair because people that actually took their time to draw something, get the idea out, then put it to page, I think it's quite unfair. Because it's like, what's the creativeness involved with that? There is no creative involvement in that. You're just doing something that could take no more than like 5 to 10 minutes, and then you're just getting a image that's less creative, more not like, I guess it doesn't really gratify you that much, and this is like an easy way out. I don't find that cool. Like, I don't find that interesting. Like, because would you want to tell somebody, oh, this, this piece looks nice, like, how'd you do it? Oh, I just used the AI image. Or would you want to hear, oh, I created this. This took a couple days. I used these types of utensils, and I just, used that to create the image. Like, what would be more interesting? What would you like to hear? You know what I'm saying? And the fact that now that people are not considering, some are not considering that aspect, it's like, wow, the technology is becoming kind of invasive. You can say like, oh, like there's some creative involvement with that. Regardless of what you say, in my eyes, I don't see it as that intuitive. Because if you look at the image that it on Mod Podge together, some of the stuff doesn't align properly. The anatomy doesn't look too good. It's a lot of things that are involved with it that just don't look aesthetically pleasing. When you could just do it yourself, and you could just create something that's a lot more enjoyable. And I think that's what it truly is, the enjoyableness, about the enjoyment creating something. I don't care if it's art, I don't care if it's music or whatever it is. The creative involvement that comes with it is very important. All my favorite artists, they started somewhere. They started from the ground up. As far as music artists, that's what I'm talking about, guys. Music artists. They started from the ground up. And like, they didn't just, got the mic and just had some, lyrical, gems just like that. Like, they read it, they read down what they wrote. They put their life into it, their love into it, and then it created something that was impactful for people. And now that they have AI rappers and stuff like that, which is interesting. I never would have thought that would ever exist. But hey, you know what I'm saying? Like, we come in a time where, things are literally, possible. Anything, everything could be possible. So I find that really interesting. Like I said before, technology is a good tool, but once you take advantage of it in a way that creativity is not there, the passion, the love is not there, and it's like, what's the point? Even if, like, let's just say I was just enormously huge, I was just big as a house, and I didn't want to work out, I just want to take pills, or I want to get surgery done, and that would just be that. Like, what would be the gratification from it? Because you can definitely, as well as you got that big, and go back to that size, because there's no structure in that. There's no, like, true gratification in that. That was a get rich. It was like kind of like a get rich quick scheme, where it's like you did something for the time being and it just didn't last, you know? And that's what we all want. You know, we just want something to happen so quickly. And then when we try to do it, you know, quickly, it doesn't turn out right. I know for me, especially in my art pieces that I do on the YouTube, that I show on Instagram, we're used to now, but you know, a lot of those images are not there no more. But I will be reposting that. Those images took a long time to create, like especially when I was first starting this YouTube thing. Like a lot of those images that I created, that I drew, it didn't take, you know what I'm saying, like a day or two. It took hours. Like now, like you go on my channel, like you see a part 1, part 2, part 3, part 4 of these videos. Like these videos don't take, you know, they don't take a couple seconds to do. Like they don't take a couple hours. Man, they take days. And because I go to work, I have different things, you know, I have to go by regiments, you know, I have the things I have in place for myself. I'm not gonna do that. Like I got things I gotta do. But I would want to do that, but I can't. But when I have more time, more financial wherewithal to do it, maybe in the future, but not at the moment. And then too, like, again, you know, not to make an excuse, but I'm young. Like, I'm not there yet. I don't mind sharing my age, you know, on YouTube. I don't find it a problem. So I'm 21. I don't think I will get there that quickly, but I feel like eventually, in due time, it will be possible. But the whole thing about what I'm trying to tell you guys is that you gotta love the process. You gotta love it. If you feel like if you feel like you have to use AI to do the work for you, then don't do it. Because you're not gonna feel the love of doing it, you know, with notepad, you know, pencil, and just going to town with your artwork. Even like digital, like I like digital in certain aspects, but it's just like you writing down a prompt and you just, you know, getting this image. Like that's not good enough. Like it's not nothing for me. Like I said before, maybe in 10 years the AI will make you look better, but a lot of AI images don't look good at all. Like what it produces is not that well made. And I guarantee you, if a person, you know, took about a week to go create something, probably look better than what you see on these apps, these applications. But that all comes down to about, you know, what you're really interested in. Do you really care about the process? Do you really care about the art, or are you just wanting just to do something to make a quick buck? And I'm glad now that, you know, which I kind of heard, like I don't know if it's truly a thing, but like they're making it where, you know, you can't really sell that as original work now. Like AI artwork, you can't sell it. You can't take it to a publisher and think they're gonna, you know, get something from it. You know what I'm saying? Like that's not gonna work. But I hope you guys like the podcast. I hope you really enjoy what I was talking about. These podcasts really, you know, matter to me. I really like, you know, talking about the things that I like doing, and art is one of the things that I like doing. To me, this is one of the biggest thrills I have about life, just drawing and get involved with my creative side. It's not easy doing what I do. It's very laborious. I mean, art is not easy to do. Like it takes hours upon hours upon hours. It's a lot of, you know, times that I feel like maybe, oh man, I wish I didn't do this. I wish I didn't do that. And then I just start over from the beginning. It's a labor of love. Like cooking is a labor of love. Like some things, like baking, that's a labor of love. Having a restaurant is a labor of love. It's a lot of labor's work. But I hope you guys enjoyed the podcast. Tell me what you guys think. I'll definitely would like for you guys to subscribe, like, and tell me what you think about the podcast. I'm on TikTok, I'm on Instagram, I'm on Twitter as well, sharing content with you guys, connecting with you guys, and becoming better with the content that I produce. Now, there are other avenues for me to put content elsewhere. I'm still working on that, as far as content for a website. Maybe even having courses and stuff like that on different, sites. Maybe like a OnlyFans, so where I could just put content on. And it's crazy how, like, you think of OnlyFans, you think of sexual stuff, but I wouldn't mind putting content as far as, good quality information and stuff like that on OnlyFans, where you pay, or like a paid subscription to where you can get the content that you need so that you can become better. But I hope you guys like the podcast, and I catch you guys later. Peace.